Alright, y'all know what it is. Y'all know what it's worth. Let's get this merch. Subscribe to the PDH Network. Alright, y'all see what we got going on here? As y'all see the thumbnail, y'all read the title. Under the thumbnail, yeah man, today's video is dealing with TakeOff brother YRNLingo. He got a few words for J.Prince Jr. based on what happened at that private event, because he feels that J.Prince Jr. is not being real based on what actually happened at that private event that he put together for his brother Jas. Yeah, my guy, the issue is nobody agrees with how J.Prince Jr. handled the whole situation. That J.Prince Jr., he could have handled this better than what he did. There's mostly a lot of people going off when they seen that J.Prince Jr. walked past TakeOff when he was just laying there. See right there, that made a lot of people feel uncomfortable. That made a lot of people feel like J.Prince Jr. just disrespected TakeOff. Because everybody know the reason why TakeOff was in that building. Because he was invited out as a special guest to attend J.Prince Jr. brother Jas' private event on Halloween night. Come on, man. So again, that's the reason why there's people who trying to understand J.Prince Jr. Why did you not protect TakeOff and Quavo better than what you did? Even if you felt that you and Quavo disagreement could spill over to something bigger, it was up to you to properly analyze the whole situation so it won't get out of hand. But it did, and this is what we have. TakeOff not here with us no more. I just want to say, man, I empathize with YRNLingo. To lose your brother like this, and again at the same time where he was invited out to a private event, come on, man. And that's what the witness even speaks on. The witness is trying to understand if the people at the private event was personally invited out, why would anybody in there want to up a burner? And that's the question that a lot of people have. Even TakeOff brother, YRNLingo. See, the thing is, everybody already know there was a small disagreement between Quavo and some of J.Prince Jr. Mob Ties affiliates. And this was before the dice game even popped off. This is something that the witness even speaks on herself. She said there was a little small friendly banter between Quavo and J.Prince Jr. Mob Ties affiliates, and it did not spill over until the dice game popped off. That's when J.Prince Jr. and Quavo had a back and forth. She said the back and forth between J.Prince Jr. and Quavo was basically during the time of the whole dice game. And also, there was other people in the room who was saying that TakeOff, he was already telling Quavo it was time to leave. But Quavo, he didn't want to leave. He still wanted to have a back and forth while he was shooting dice. But that's the question that a lot of people have, is Quavo, why didn't you leave if you felt uncomfortable in that situation? And there's people saying the real reason why Quavo was feeling uncomfortable because somebody at that dice game had some bogus dice. Come on, man. That'll make anybody go off in that situation when they feeling like somebody playing with their money. You understand? But at the same time, it still points back to Quavo. Hey man, if your nephew TakeOff wanted to leave, you should have got up out of there. There was no real reason for you to still be there. Now I'm going to play a small clip based on what the witness had to say. Here y'all go.
Shot 2 in the head after what Houston police called a private party that started on Halloween. It was just 2 days after Laday's 24th birthday.
I remembered what happened because when I was up the whole time after I got shot in the head, and I called my mom and told her what happened and to come.
Laday says somehow she made it down an escalator and to a friend's car who took her to the hospital. She was in a coma and intubated before she woke up.
I felt the sting in the back of my head. I felt myself falling, and the person I was with picked me up and we got in the car, but it was like a scary movie, really. Ironically, it was Halloween night. I had on a nun outfit. I had blood all over me. People that were arguing was just playing from, like I said, the energy that was in the room before. Everybody was around the table playing a game of dice, so I thought it was just like, some friendly banter.
But that argument or that arguing was kind of your first sign that something was going on.
Yeah, because Quavo, he was upset, so I noticed that something was wrong whenever I noticed that he was really upset and he was finna leave. So the party wasn't finna keep going on. And I saw whenever everything broke out and I tried to run, but I didn't go that far. So yeah, it was really like a movie, like shooting all the way until I got down the escalator into the car, and I'm just telling the person I'm with, like, I'm scared.
You didn't realize TakeOff was killed until
After
you got
that.
home.
Yeah.
What was that like to realize that other people were shot that night?
I mean, I actually was going through it. I was sad that it ended up like that, but I mean, we were all in the same situation. Unfortunately, somebody else didn't survive, and I was just grateful that I did, because the place that it hit in my head, I just feel like it was a miracle.
See, I told y'all, man, even she stated that the aura in that building, it was a little off. Yeah, you had some people saying it may have a lot to do with Halloween. See, the people have to understand and feel the energy of the aura that goes on at night. If not, they're going to be disillusioned to anything that goes on around them. Dealing with Quavo, if the situation was already out of hand to where he kept having a disagreement with not only with J.Prince Jr. Mobties, but with J.Prince Jr. himself, he should have got up out that building with his nephew TakeOff. Before we get into it, as always, let's pay our respects and say rest in peace to TakeOff, condolences to his family, and much love to all my folks in the ATL. And Lingo, Quavo, Offset, y'all will soon get justice based on what happened with TakeOff. Because this ain't over. It ain't nowhere near over. You feel me? Got a lot of people hiding their hands based on what really happened. Even though the witness told her point of view, she couldn't tell who upped the burner, because like everybody in that building, she was trying to get up out of there. She was trying to get to safety, trying to make it back home to her family. And thank God she was able to do that. But again, it still goes back to the whole question of why would anybody at a private event want to up a burner? That makes no sense. Everybody there was personally invited out. Since everybody there was personally invited out, the people will be talking to everybody on J.Prince Jr.'s guest list. And that's real, because it just doesn't make sense at all, man. And yes, even though I agree with Quavo, you do want to question your homeboy Jas and be like, hey man, why is anybody affiliated with you trying to bring some bogus dice to this event? That would make anybody feel uncomfortable. But I guess Quavo wasn't uncomfortable enough that he wanted to leave. I hope people would be more aware of what's going on around them. Meaning that if the situation is already getting out of hand, there's nothing that you can do to calm it down. You understand? The only thing you can do, put yourself and your family in a better situation. See, even the girl stated herself, if Quavo would have left, that means TakeOff would have left. And there wouldn't have been no private event. Because the private event was based around J.Prince Jr. inviting out the Migos. Come on, man. So that's the reason why those guys, they should have been better protected, man. If J.Prince Jr. Mobties is really about that life, then they should have stood on that. They could have gave a better representation for J.Prince Jr. Because the way they got him looking right now is not good. The reason being because everybody is pointing towards J.Prince Jr. Mobties affiliates. So if they point at them, that means they automatically point at J.Prince Jr. You feel me? Also noted that the same thing happened at the private event that Duke the Jeweler was invited out to as well, man. Just 2 months before TakeOff got set up. Now, everybody already know that Chicago's own Duke the Jeweler, he was set up for the jewelry and the cash that he brought out to H-Town. So you have a lot of people that's questioning J.Prince Jr. Mobties and saying, hey man, why is these highly successful black men being set up hanging around you? And that's because, again, there's a lot of people in H-Town. They may be cool with the pops, J.Prince, but they don't respect his son's mob ties. And it shows, man, because what happened with TakeOff at that private event, it should have never happened. They wouldn't have did it based on the respect that they have for J.Prince Jr., but it shows that they don't. But you do have some people saying, hey, my guy, J.Prince Jr. guys didn't up the burner first. It was actually Migos Benz. So yeah, man, they saying the Migos affiliate was the one who actually hit TakeOff. And with that, Migos Benz, Lil Cam, and DJ Pat are all saying that they ain't up a burner and hit nobody. I mean, of course, that will be the first reaction. Because the person that's responsible for this, they know they going down. But again, this whole experience just messed up a lot of people. To the point they even had a professional boxer is being the one to up the burner and got TakeOff. So I was the one that actually had to make a video and say, don't mess up that man's life. Shakur Stevenson, he had nothing to do with DJ Pat, Migos Benz, or Lil Cam Fifth wanted to up a burner. That was something they wanted to do on their own time. He don't know that DJ Pat wanted to up a burner. If DJ Pat did, because there's no real information based around DJ Pat up in his burner. There is a lot of information based around Migos Benz because we seen the footage, and Lil Cam up in the burner because again we seen the footage. That's the reason why they have to question everybody on that guest list. Because somebody seen something, man. But trust me, sooner or later, TakeOff and his family will get justice. But hey, we get more in store. As always, y'all know what it is. Y'all know what it's worth. Let's get this merch. Subscribe to the PDH Network.